going to be making my chicken, cream cheese and mushroom with asparagus pasta. I forgot in the last video to mention that there would be asparagus in this scatterbrain that I am. Oh, don't need this. So for the recipe you will need chestnut mushrooms, about 200 grams of cream cheese, 100 grams of fine stem asparagus, 1 bulb of garlic. I probably won't put the whole bulb, it'll probably be more like two or three cloves, but still. A chicken breast per person. I'm cooking this for 2, so I have 2. And then 2 people's worth of pasta. If you want to know how to measure it, sometimes one of these, they have like little holes in them, but this one doesn't. So what I did was, just split this, is I did that with my finger, no jokes. And then I just made sure that basically it fits through. So as long as, God, my left and right skills are terrible. So you make it that big and then it should fit. So I did that for both bundles of pasta and then just accumulated them together. Whoa, dear me, dear me, dear me, dear me. There we go. So first things first, put that pan there. I'm going to get my big pan and I'm going to fill it with some water. There we go. So there, you see, water. That's so condescending. Water! Okay. So now I'm going to pop it on this hob over here and just pick the right one. There we go. Put that on a high heat. Not too high, but higher. Then I'm going to put 2 pinches of salt into the water. And just pour in, no, not that, no, don't cause damage, up here. Pour in some oil, like that, just so that it doesn't stick together. I'm going to give it a little stir just to dissolve the salt in there. There we go. Just pop that there in case I need it later. And then I'm going to, well, we'll noodle down. I'm going to snap my pasta in half. I know most people don't, but my mum has difficulty eating certain foods, so I don't want her to choke, so I'm snapping in half. And then I'm just placing my half noodles in the water, push that one down to cook. Now hopefully they won't take too long. It doesn't so much if by the time you finished all this bit that the pasta has cooled a little bit, because when you mix the sauce in, the sauce should be hot enough to warm it up again. So don't worry about it being cooked too soon or anything like that. So I'm now going to turn on this hob, high heat. Might not be able to see. Hang on. Reposition. No, other way. Left. There we go. So I've got this hob on full heat. I've got the other one on full heat as well. I will eventually turn the heat down on that one. Just preliminary. That's not the word. Just to start, I'm putting on a high heat just to heat up the pan so that I can quickly melt the butter, and then I'll be turning it onto a low heat. So, also, one thing I didn't mention, just because it's more of an added extra if you want to. I don't want to say, do it, you must do it. So, I just figured I'd say this now. Do the ingredients that you definitely will need. But I will be drizzling, when I add the sauce, a little bit of white truffle infused olive oil. A little bit of decadence. It's £2.50 at Sainsbury's if you would like to buy it. You might be able to buy it elsewhere. I bought mine from Sainsbury's. Well, I say mine. It's my mother's. But she's letting me use it for this. I'm cooking her food, so why not? So, once the butter's nice and melted, just circle your pan. Oh, there we go. Like so. Just to get a nice coating done, like that, and then turn it onto a lower heat. Oh no. Okay guys, sorry about that. Had a little bit of technical difficulty with that camera. Hopefully it's sorted now. Pasta is almost ready now. So, and the butter is nice and hot. So, to start with, I'll remove the oil. I'm going to chop up the asparagus. So, I'm going to do it 4, 5. So, first things first, I'm going to chop off the bottom and discard them. And then I'm going to I'd say roughly about an inch. So every inch I'm going to chop like so. And then I'm going to fry them. So warning, apparently asparagus dances when it's fried. So just cut off the bottoms there, and then again, inch increments. So lightly saute them. Smells nice. I'm going to let them cook on 1/2 the pan, like so. And while that's going ahead, in fact actually I'm going to spread them out across the pan again, but when it comes to it I'll be pushing them back to that side. And I'm going to begin chopping. Oh, my ear's itching. Excuse me, thank you. Chopping up the mushrooms like so. So that's 1 mushroom. 2 mushrooms. I feel like count 1 mushroom. Oh dear. I'm terrible. 2, 3. You can make this as mushroomy as you like. Put in as many or as few as you want. So, I'd advise at least have maybe this amount, if not the amount I'll have once I've finished chopping this here mushroom. Come to me. So this is mushroom number 5. Okay, so unfortunately, my other camera has packed in. Love technology. It was working, now it isn't, so oh dear. I'm just going to move this a little closer. A second, I'm going to faff around with the camera now. So what I'll do is when I need to give you a close-up, I'll lean over, alter the camera and do it that way for you. So, because unfortunately my other camera, I just can't do the long shot like I wanted to, so that I could have the close-up and the long shot. So, as I said, gotta love technology. So I'm going to put in 8 mushrooms. I like it mushroomy. So, varying sizes obviously, bear in mind. Also, don't forget to stir your asparagus so it doesn't like burn on one side or anything. And keep checking on your pesto. Yeah, it still needs a little more time. So I'm gonna quickly chop these mushrooms without chopping my fingers. So, this one doesn't have a stalk. Interesting. Right. So, obviously now they're still in little circles, so I'm going to take half of what I've got, so I will just give you a little view. So that's how much I've got. I've split them in half. Didn't quite put it back. Right, there we go. So I've split them in half because I still want some of these babies whole. But this half here, I'm going to chop through them and basically mince them. Because I want them to be quite fine. Obviously, I'm not like Tiana from Princess and the Frog. She got mad mincing skills. So, but what I'll do is, now that I've done it partially, I will give you guys a close-up shot. One day, I hope to be as good as like Gordon Ramsay and that, who can like I'm not that good. And yeah, again, knowing me, I would probably chop my hand off. So, so they should be fine enough now. There we go. Stuff. There we go. Another stir. Gonna test a bit. They're nice and tender. Delicious. So what I'll do with these, I'm going to leave them in the pan so they don't get cold, but I will keep sort of, or will I? Actually, bear with. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pour them into this. What I'll do is I'll leave the camera where it is because you wanted to see me cook. You don't have to see my face. You've seen my face enough. For now, I'll just pop them over there out of the way so they're safe. So next up, now that we've got them all nice and minced, I'm going to, if they will, pick up the mushrooms and put them in the frying pan. So I'm going to wilt down these babies first. Put them nice stirring. I'm going to get a little bit more butter. Want them a bit buttery because I'm mixing them with cream cheese. I just want them to incorporate well. So, just using a bit of butter. There we go. Not heating up too fast. I just spread them out like so. Now, oh my god, it worked! Just like the chefs. Chefs? It's not a word. Look at how easy they come out. Oh, I'm so happy. It's the little things in life that give me pleasure. So, I'm gonna chop this bad boy. Chop these off. Put that to one side. There we go. Those mushrooms because we don't want them to burn. I don't know, I got them out of the bulb so easily and now I'm feeling it's peeling them. Oh, there we go, that's one. So I'm gonna peel 3 more of these. These will be popped into a jar for later. For now, popping them over there out of the way. So, when it comes to editing, I will edit past this bit so you don't have to watch me peel these. But yeah, just chop off the ends. Should make it a little easier to peel, although, like I said, I'm having difficulties. So I'll skip the next 2 and be right back with you. Okay guys, so I've got my 4 cloves of garlic unjacketed, unskinned. The pasta is ready, so I'm going to which hob? There we go. This hob. There we go. Yeah. I'm going to move it onto this hob. Just let it. I'm leaving it in the water so that it does stay quite warm, but like I said, it doesn't really matter if it does start to get a bit cold because the sauce should heat it up again. Just keep periodically stirring the minced mushrooms, and actually once they get to looking like this, quite wilted down, you can actually add in your whole mushrooms and start wilting them down in it. Also, arguably going to turn up the heat just a little bit because obviously these bigger mushrooms going to need a little more heat to wilt down, otherwise it might take a little while. So, and then I'm going to finally chop the garlic. I'm not crushing it, I'm just finally chopping it into slices because me and my mum, we quite like garlic. It's full of health benefits, like really good for when you have a cold. It helps with your immune system. So it's all in all, it's really good for you. And we quite like garlic in my family. Obviously, if you have a garlic crusher and would prefer to crush your garlic instead of putting it in in slices, because you might, you know, get a full slice and it might be a bit overpowering for you. By all means, you know, make it your own. There we go. There we go. Da-da-da. So now we're going to infuse the mushrooms with the garlic. Ooh. Oh, it smells so good. Nothing nicer than the smell of cooking garlic, in my opinion. Apart from maybe like pancakes. It's not nice. Although personally, my present new favourite scent at the moment is Ruby Jasmine. I've literally bought like Ruby Jasmine Febreze, Ruby Jasmine Lenore. It just smells so good. In fact, the Febreze Ruby Jasmine kind of smells like No More Tears by L'Oreal. I used to have that stuff when I was little. But yeah, it kind of smells like the red one, which was sort of fruity. I think the red one was actually like cherry or strawberry, but it really smells like so similar. So, yeah. Oh, it smells so nice. Favorite thing from a Chinese? Garlic mushrooms. Fried garlic mushrooms. That and prawn toast. Delicious. Got a sledgehammer in my head. Oh dear. Any Peter Gabriel fans? I certainly am. Love the song In Your Eyes. Beautiful. There we go. Right, let me think. Thinking on my feet. There we go. Last thing I'm going to chop up is the chicken. I don't need you mushrooms anymore, so put you to the back here, out of the way with everything else. There we go. So now that my mushrooms are nice and wilted, I'm just going to put them back on the heat. They should be fine. I'm going to... My hands are clean. I'll wipe them. I'll wipe them. I'll wash them in the sink. There we go. So I'm going to put my cream cheese in the pan, and I'm going to move this off the heat, and I'm going to move the spoon off from over the heat, and then I'm going to put this pan onto this hob. I'm going to take this spoon and I'm going to spread out the cream cheese, like so. Very good. Mixing around. Melt for me, cream cheese, melt. So while that's melting, keep an eye on it, because obviously I don't want it to burn fat. I will turn the heat down low. I'm going to chop up the chickens. Ew, it's all slimy. Oh, it smells like chicken. I have to believe that they don't have any tenderizer. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of this fatty tendon. Hold it to the camera, Chloe. This fatty tendon, because that won't be pleasant to eat. Just give my cream cheese a stir. So I'm going to cut the chicken in half, like so. Alright, and if I ever get a grasp, there we go, and then once it's like that, there we go. So I've got one piece, two pieces. I'm going to get rid of this bit, because arguably, there we go, get rid of that, and to the dog. Or the cat, whichever. So, can I get a bit of meat there? There we go. So, that's all sinew. You really don't want that. It's kind of chewy. And given the fact that, as I said, my mum has difficulty sometimes with food. She doesn't have teeth. She had to have them all removed. So, I'd like to point out I am no butcher, so I know to remove the sinew, but if I'm messing this cut up, beat that out, messing this cut up, and you're a butcher watching this, I apologise. There we go. Right, I think this bit should be fine. Don't forget to stir your cheese. Start to hear it going. That means it is starting to boil. And you don't want it to boil. So I'm going to actually turn the heat off and just let it melt with the residual heat that's already in the pan. So, and then I'm going to cut the chicken into tiny little slices. Oh, there we go. Just gonna cut the tip there. There we go. And then each slice of about inch thick, I'm going to chop in half. Ooh. Sorry if I'm breathing a little heavy, it's quite warm in here now. Ooh. This is quite, yeah, that's fine. That's actually the right size, so move on to this. So is that? Oh. So, once this is all diced up, I will be back with you. Okay, so this has magically probably shown up. Oh well, continuity. I'll put this out of the way. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay guys, so I've got the chicken all diced. This is all I've got. It's all in little chunks. Not that big, but not that small. Obviously, sauce is cooking away, turn it onto a lower heat again, like so. Once you've got your cream cheese looking like this, very nice. If it gets a little dry or you accidentally overcook it a little bit, like I nearly did, you can always add, like, say, a tablespoon of, I'm going to take the heat off for a second, a tablespoon of cream just to thin it out a little bit. So I'm going to be adding some ground white pepper. I'll give you a close-up as to how much. I'm putting a fair bit in. So, I know that looks like a lot, but it's actually quite spread out. So, probably a pinch or two. I'm just adding it in there for a little extra flavour. So, oh, it smells lovely. So, once you've got it to that consistency I just showed you, you're going to, actually before I do that, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to get a colander and I'm just going to drain the pasta because it's done. I guess I didn't put enough olive oil in. Still got some noodles in the bottom. Don't argue with me. Get my noodles out. There we go. They're not burned or anything, they're just stuck to the bottom. Okay, so now I've drained the pasta, and so you know, it's done. It's nice and stringy. Tastes delicious. So now that that's done, I'm gonna just change my camera angle slightly. So I'm going to take the frying pan with the mushrooms, and I'm going to, oh, and the garlic, forgot about the garlic being in there. I'm going to scrape them all into the cream cheese. For after. Oh, please don't. So I'm going to put the heat back on. Oh. There we go. I'm going to put it on low heat. I'm just going to incorporate the mushrooms into it, like so. In fact, actually, I'm going to that doesn't need to be in there. I'm going to add a little bit of cream. Okay. Sorry, just sorting out something on my laptop. One moment. Okay, so just make sure that is mixed every so often. Fudge. Oh, sorry about that. My laptop was running out of charge. So as I was saying, if it's a little bit thick, now that I've added the mushrooms, it is quite thick, you can add some double cream. added, if you can see, focus, I've added, oh, I forgot there's a measurement on the side. I've added about 50 mils of cream just to thin out the sauce a little bit, just because when I added the mushrooms, it kind of got a little bit thick and a little thicker than I'd have liked it to be. So now that that's added, just pop the cream away. I'm going to turn on the hob on the other side, turn that down to a low heat, and just cook that till it sort of starts simmering. And clean. So, I've just cleaned off the frying pan from the mushrooms. I didn't necessarily need to, but it's just so that I can gauge that the chicken is fully cooked, because obviously I don't really want it to be raw naturally, because gross. It's totally not healthy for you. At this point, I'm going to add the first little bit of truffle oil. You can obviously use any oil that you like. Just enough so that I can go and just turn the pan and coat the pan in the oil. Like so. There we go. And then, oh, that smells gorgeous. Oh. So nice. Obviously, don't forget to stir your sauce. I'm going to turn the heat off for now. And what I'll do is, if it gets a little cold while we're frying the chicken, which it shouldn't, because frying the chicken won't take long, it's pretty much the last step. So hopefully the pan should be heated up. I'm going to put a piece in and see if it makes a sound. No, it's not quite hot enough yet. Give it a little bit more. Oh, poo. Is it back on? Yes. There we go. Ah, there we go. That's the sound I'm looking for. Optimum frying temperature. Oh, chicken, I've done my board. Oh god. Terrible. So before I pick up my spoon, I'm just going to wash my hands, because obviously chicken can have salmonella and you don't really want salmonella. It's one of the reasons why I cut it up last, fried it last, and got everything else out of the way, because it's just safer that way. No cross-contamination or anything like that. I'm just going to turn the heat down a little bit, because I don't want the chicken to start sticking. Oh, hello Dom. My brother's and his girlfriend's cat's just come in. He's winding himself around my ankles at present. binding around my ankles, and he is presently staring at me intently from underneath the table. I'm guessing he's wanting some chicken. It's not happening. I'm actually surprised the dog hasn't come in yet. You'd probably be able to hear it if the dog came in. He clicks on the tile floor. Well, not tile, it's linoleum, I think. But still. So once this is all fried up, because obviously as you can see there's still pink here and there. So once I have this all fried up and ready, I will come back to the video. So okay, I've thoroughly cooked the chicken. You can see there's possibly try and get it close. You can see little brown bits, a little bit of charring, like light charring, black charring. So it's definitely cooked, nice and cooked, which is great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make sure there is no moisture left in the pasta. I'm just going to pop it there for a second. Rinse out the pasta pan like so. Pop the pan on there for a second. And then I'm going to pour the drained pasta back into the pan. Then I'm going to get my asparagus that I cooked earlier. Turn the hob back on. There we go. And before I put it back on the hob, I'm going to drizzle some truffle oil, well, olive oil infused with truffle oil, and just mix it in with the pasta. Like so. And I'm going to put it back on the heat. Itchy nose. Then I'm going to pour the sauce in with the pasta. So, better than a knife, got a little flexi silicone spatula. I'm gonna just take this off the heat for a second. I'll just get all the mushroom and all the cheese out of the pan. And the joy of using a flexi silicone spatula is, look at that, barely any sauce wasted. So I'll put that pan for washing, and I'm gonna scrape off the spoon as well, just to unstick some stuff. And I'm gonna put the spoon for washing, and I'm gonna mix it in with this. Mix it in on here first, and then just pop it on the hob. There we go, primarily mix it in. There we go. Chicken. Put the chicken in a minute. Don't know why I just started saying chicken over and over again. fully incorporated. Oh, well, that hurt my thumb a little bit. Oh. Next thing I'm going to incorporate is the asparagus. Pop it in like, oh, missing a little bit of asparagus. Oh. And then, obviously, mix it in. Well, I am a little in danger of not having enough room in this pan, but it should be fine. Push the asparagus under the pasta. Oh, my hand. Finally, I'm actually going to put the chicken on top in the bowl when I serve up. Okay, so now serving up. Bowl like so. Two bowls. Trying to get them as even as I can. Just scrape around the insides, like so. Get it all out. There we go. Pretty much clean. Obviously it's looking shit. So in there it goes. And then I'm simply going to, oh dear me, sprinkle the chicken on top. Like this. This one has a little bit more chicken. There we go. And washing as well. I have a lot of washing to do after this. So there you go. That is, get it left and right. That is my cheesy mushroom and asparagus pasta with chicken. Obviously the name's changed because obviously it was all originally incorporated, but I think it works better like this, if I'm honest. Gotta try something different. I am very sorry for the lack of different camera angles. I did not expect my phone, which I was filming the other angle on, to go on the frets. But yeah, so this is it. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed.
Hi guys, thank you for watching this video. It's been part of my I Try series where I try new things I've never done and hopefully succeed in creating some wonderful things. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and share. If you would like to support my videos, I have a PayPal tip jar linked below. Please donate as you feel, and as I become more confident and able to offer giveaways, special content, etc., I intend to create a Patreon so I can hopefully keep my vids ad-free. Love you guys. Bye!